So that's the team I was using before. And this is the team I got now. I think Bastiodon's the weak link here. But I'm kind of iffy of what to swap it to. I tried Galarian Stunfisk already. And I'm not sure if I was just getting unlucky, but it just wasn't giving me the coverage that I wanted to. Wonder if normal Stunfisk would be on something. Electric Ground. I do have Wild Charge with Mew though already. Your Great League Lava Lizard, your Great League team has Umbreon, Shiny Shiftry, and Shiny Gyarados. Good for you. That is true. We did just have a community day with Gyarados. I wasn't really focusing on it because Gyarados kind of shines better in the Ultra League and Master League. I think I have a Great League Gyarados. If I use it though, I would definitely be replacing Mantine with it. Because I definitely don't want 2 water flying types on my team. I'll just scroll through a little bit more, see if we get some more ideas. I'd love to use Flygon, but it's just doesn't hold up that well. And I feel like I have to build a team around it in order for it to stand a chance. On one hand, I don't have 2 water types, but because they're dual typing, Wishcast and Mantine do have completely different weaknesses. So there is that to keep in mind. I could go back to having a flyer. Do I have an Altaria ready to go? I'm not going to use it if I don't. That one doesn't count. That's lucky and not ready for PvP. I think I got one more set before I'm done for the night. So if you guys in chat have any ideas, feel free to throw them at me. I may not be able to implement them tonight, but if I do a stream in the future, I'll try it out. Oh, but Umbreon just had 2 sets already. I was saying earlier that Umbreon is nice for, like, if I don't know what else to send, just send an Umbreon. I'll do it. I'll do it for the people. If this goes up later and people are complaining about me using Umbreon for 3 sets in a row, it's on the people. I kid. We'll try a set, and we'll try a battle with it, see how it goes. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that. I was just having a little bit of fun. Speaking of fun, you know what? I can just swap. I'll be putting myself in switch advantage, but it's better than having defense drop. And if I can catch this Skarmory off guard, that'd be fantastic. Alright. So, I am kind of putting myself in switch disadvantage here. But I went to the Mantine instead of Umbreon. Because if they let me farm it down, I have a bunch of energy. If they don't, I was going to say then I could just go for straight Bubble Beam, but... Unfortunately, I'd have to shield here because I've seen Frenzy Plant do its work on a Mantite and it's not pretty. I was going to go for Bubble Beam as a bait, but with how low my health is already, I think I'm going to look for the straight Ice Beam. I kind of figured if they went into Meganium on my Mantite, they weren't expecting the Ice Beam. So, at least I got that solid chunk of damage, and I'm going to get attack drop off before I go down. And like I said, I don't want to waste my shield, both my shields so early on, so I'm going to let Mantine go down. But it did a good job. Kind of wondering if I can farm it down with Mew, though. I think I'm going to go to Umbreon just to be on the safe side, though. I did a solid chunk of damage to that Skarmory with the Wild Charge play. So, if it comes down to me just having to pull off another Wild Charge, then I can go for that. And they go for the Scumpus instead. Got Side Shock and Wild Charge. So, I don't think Mew's actually going to be doing too much work. So, switch advantage or not, it might actually be smart to stay in with Umbreon. And again, I have to just feel this out. This is kind of nice. It's like, I know there's probably a better counter I could have instead of Umbreon, something that gives me a little more diversity. But Umbreon is kind of like comfort food for me. It's always good to like be able to lean on it when I don't know what else to do. I wonder if I can even get this last shield off on the Scumpus. Hey Time Yup, how's it going? Sorry if I abbreviate your name wrong, but I'm kind of just like a little focused on the game right now. I am kind of weak. I'm gonna shield because I don't even know if I can last the Rock Slide. And I had a gut feeling that Earthquake was coming. Alright. If you're gonna swap right into the Meganium, then I kinda got the feeling that you're ready to go for that Frenzy Plant. So I don't mind busting my energy off right now. They might have been trying to bait that energy out, but hey, I'm still able to get to another foul play. And if you want to shield it, be my guest. I'm just as happy with you having no shields as I am with you having no Scumpus. And last but not least is the Skarmory. Umbreon coming through, man. Oh yeah, there is another shield. But I mean, hey, I'm okay with it. I forced them... Let's just say I forced them to not be able to farm me for energy. And I think I'm down on one Pokemon, which Mew can just Shadow Claw this down at this rate. So good game. Umbreon really saved the day there. So let me... I know you said something about your team, Lava Lizard, so I think I can read that out now. Got Outrage and Aqua Tail, Dragon Breath with quick moves. Pretty solid move pool. Yeah, like ever since Community Day, like there's just not really a reason to go back to Hydro Pump when it comes to PvP. So I haven't used Gyarados in Great League for a while. So I'm not quite sure if it's the most optimal moveset. Like, Outrage, I know has a lot of uses in Ultra League and Master League with all the Dragon types flying around. But then again, I guess like there's not really as many Ghost types in Great League either, so Outrage for just solid damage that's not Water type might be good. So, yeah. Umbreon stays. Umbreon pulled the team through and so he stays. Set 3, Battle 2. I just realized I don't think I ever made a marker on my stream archive for this. I don't got much with my move pool, but I'm going to use the unpredictability of Mew to my advantage to see if I can at least get a shield outfit. I can kind of see why they recommend having Surf on Mew though, especially with like Galarian and Stunfisk frilling around. Yeah, I was not going to take this well, but I'm going to go for it anyways. See if I can like time this to like have Umbreon come in right on a Rock Slide. That'd be fantastic. And congrats on your 13 shiny Magikarps, Lava Lizard. Were you playing the whole 6 hours, or did you like do something like I would normally do and just go the 3 out and take the other 3 at home? Either way, it is a nice amount of shinies. Like, once you get more, let's be real, once you get like maybe more than 5 shinies, you're just IV hunting at that point. I know some people would even say like all you really need is 3, and that's only like if it has an evolutionary line of 3 different Pokemon. Yeah, I should shield in case of the play rough. Azumarill is one of the things that walls Umbreon, but I like having because I have Last Resort in this thing, I feel like I can at least play a solid neutral game. It probably was a waste of a shield though, but I'll just count it up to getting a little more chip damage off on it. Cool. You got 29s for 3 hours. I almost don't believe it for that, but I'll admit I got less than 29, and while I did kind of like play more than 3 hours, it wasn't by much. Like today in particular was real weird for me because it took me a while to actually find a good area to play, so I did go home a bit early, so it wasn't like I got like 20 or so shinies just for being out the whole 6 hours. Now, do I go for Wild Charge here? I just realized the situation I put myself in. Give me 1 sec. I gotta pause the commentary. Yeah, I just had to take an IRL call, so that's why I muted the mic for a little bit there. It'll be interesting if I can, pull something off this Mantyke. Probably not without shields. Yeah, the sound was me kind of just muting my mic. I did it a little too suddenly. I did it before I finished talking, so sorry for the abruptness of it. But, yeah, I, had to talk to someone real fast. So that's why I muted myself. It's okay, that's why I explained it, because I figured people wouldn't know. Especially because I did it so abruptly. Yeah, I kind of screwed myself out of this set. I'm not even... As tempting as it is to blame the distraction, I know, I wasn't playing the most solid to begin with. It is kind of interesting that this little Marowak, wasted this energy on a Bone Club. They still got one more Pokemon in the back, though, so I don't think it really matters. I probably lowered his attack so much that probably just, could have started farming it down. Maybe not, though, because how low of health I was as is. And congrats on your 3 shiny... Sorry, I just caught that Shadow Ball off the corner of my eye. I was it's almost like it was thinking, oh, you thought that I was being too ungenerous, not using the Shadow Ball? Well, here's a Shadow Ball right in your face when you have a sliver of health left. But anyways, Lava Lizard, congrats on your 3 shinies in a row. Let me just, put my headphones back on and get a sip of water. And we'll go forward and solid with this. Alright. Trying to think if there's anything I really want to change with the team. Still feels like it's lacking in some degree. Mew just might not be cut out for it. There's probably a reason that people don't use Mew in rank 8. But I'm gonna at least finish the set with it, even if I adjust some other things. Alright. Mew versus Shadow Machamp. This is actually probably the most solid lead that Mew's got in a while. A little scary to have to take Shadow moves, but it's even more scary for my opponent. Quagsire, I like your taste, good sir. I think I'm gonna save up energy for an Ice Beam. Oh, that's right, Stone Edge is the thing they have. Or they could go for the Sludge Bomb. I'm actually glad I didn't use my shield for that. Let's see if I can bait out a shield with this Bubble Beam. I will take the attack drop if I can't. Kind of hoping that did a little bit more for neutral. But I think that's half the problem with Mantyke. I always think that's going to be a solid hitter, not just a real annoyer. Ah, you got Sludge Bomb and Stone Edge. So not a single move in your arsenal that's a water or ground type. I never would have saw that coming. almost like... Then again, like, Quagsire never carries around water-type moves. So that's kind of dumb for me to assume. Okay, at least I took out a Pokemon and I can get Mew back in here. The scariest thing is that they have energy back. But I think it's safe to use a shield here, because we're basically... No, you know what, I could have probably taken this cross shop. I was going to say, this is probably going to be a full-out shield war. Because there's no way they're going to let their Shadow Machamp take a super effective hit from a Mew. Okay, take care, Lava Lizard. Glad you could stop by. Alright. I'm gonna... If only to preserve a shield, I'm gonna predict this cross chop this time. Which was my downfall. Literally survive on 0 HP. Now, you know, if I did that in reverse order, we'd be in a lot better shape. So, I'm gonna just go for last resort. Maybe they don't realize I have it. But there's a lot lying on the fact that they don't shield its attack, so I'm pretty much convinced they will shield it. But hey, I do have at least one shield left. And while we're both down to no shields, the champ is at least at the range that if I could get to a foul play, I'd be able to take it out, which is probably why they swap. Yeah, I definitely let... Can't quite put my finger on exactly what I did wrong in that match, but I definitely feel like that I could have done some better plays. I think, like, part of it is just, like, I need a more solid water type. There's a reason I stopped using Manatite in the first place. I'm kind of thinking, like, maybe Empoleon would cover the slack. I just gotta figure out if it leaves me too vulnerable to ground-type moves. But I think a Water Steel type with that Hydro Cannon would do a good solid favor on my team with, like, all the Scumfists running around and all that in the mix. I could throw in Mr. No Arms myself, but I'll try Empoleon. Since I swap some Pokemon around, I'm not as vulnerable to ground-type moves, so I feel more comfortable having it in there. So let's give it one more go. Go ahead and guess. This is, like I said, I'm kind of doing a lot of this team comp on the fly, so I'll take the criticism. I acknowledge this is probably not the best team. Alright. Is this Gyarados going to predict me to go for the Wild Charge? Because taking this thing out right on the bat would be fantastic. Unfortunately, if I go for that, I have to shield here, because that Crunch is... Or I could have Aqua Tail. I was just way too afraid of the Crunch. Yeah, that was definitely going to happen. And unfortunately, shoot. And they predicted me to go for that charge move right at the end, too. I gotta learn to be more conservative with my energy. I freaking have a water type and I go to it. It's fine. Okay, that's a little long, so I might read it. I might wait until after this battle to read it, but appreciate the advice. Assume the Pokemon didn't have 2 attack. I don't know. I think I always assume that the Pokemon has 2 attacks. It's just a matter of if I'm assuming. If I'm just forgetting something obvious of what attacks they can have. Yeah, I mean, like, now that I'm up in rank, maybe if this was like rank 7, rank 6 or earlier, and they had a legendary Pokemon, then I could assume that they wouldn't have 2 moves. But like when you're working in Great League, you got so many cheap move options that it's always... there's not really a reason to assume that they didn't have 2 attacks. Okay, I really don't want to shield. I gotta let Umbreon go down, I guess. I'll be honest, I was hoping that I survived that Aqua Tail, but it was pretty crippled, so I wasn't quite sure if that'd be the case. Again, I kind of glanced at your feedback. There's a possibility that I missed a little detail that would have made it more obvious, but It's very easy to get distracted when you're trying to multitask with a stream as you're battling. So I'm gonna miss details on one or the other as I'm doing this. But that's fine. Okay. I'd love to go for Wild Charge, but I'm not gonna get up to it in time. And they probably predict it. Okay, so it's my Empoleon versus a Azumarill. This is not... I gotta see if they have one more Pokemon in the back. Because if it's just last two, this could be okay for me. Yeah, unfortunately, shields are still a thing. So, I'm gonna go for Flash Cannon anyways, even though they have a shield. For some reason, I think Flash Cannon is an obsolete move on Empoleon, so they might not see it coming. That was at least my mind frame in the moment. And I'll be honest, that probably is going to cost me the match. I'll shield and see if I can get to one more Flash Cannon. I was going to say, screw it. I'm not going to get up to it in time. I'm going to go for that Hydro Cannon, but it's a little too slow on the button. Good game, though. Good game. Yeah, I think you're right, but you decided not to block even though you didn't show us last attack. True. True. That's not... I'll tell you what that is, if you don't mind. That's not necessarily me not expecting them to have two different moves, but I'll admit one of my weaknesses in PvP is being really clingy with my shields. So, that probably was the situation, what you're talking about, where I should have shielded attack. But I just so caught up in the moment. Granted, like, I kind of think more in the moment and I don't reflect back too often, so as far as I know, it could have been in the battle and it was completely stupid for me not to shield. But, especially, I can tell you right now, especially early on in battles, I'll admit I have a huge weakness of not shielding. I've kind of learned that with more glass cannon leads, like Skarmory and Shadow Gardevoir. I try to correct myself by using that shield so early on, but I probably could have taken that Weather Ball. Mew isn't the most... It's a little frail though, so the fact that I made this Obama Snow shield might have been good. They might just not realize my move set yet. Alright. Well, I guess I'll find out if I take a Weather Ball. Yeah, maybe I didn't need to shield the first one, but I still needed to shield the second one, so it kind of balanced out. And I see your message there. I'm just waiting for a good moment to read it. Cool. It's nice to actually get that side shotgun at the end. And I was just talking about how I use shields too late, and now I feel like I'm using shields way too early, but if I get the switch advantage and have the energy to get a charge move off, I feel like that can justify it. Now, what are you going to send in, and can I wild charge it? I cannot wild charge this Stunfisk. Alright. I'm probably falling a little behind. In the moment, you don't know. Yeah, I kind of... It's probably a weakness. I do still need to read the rest of what you're saying. But with a little bit I caught, it's a weakness in my commentary that I just justify things I do wrong with just saying, I don't know. Even though if I probably took 2 seconds to think about it, I probably could figure out what I do know. I hate the fact that I don't have shields this early on. Because if I had shields, this matchup wouldn't be so bad. But the fact that I just have to take whatever the Stunfisk throws my way sucks. Can I at least, like... Yeah. It is pointless to go for the bait. I'm so weak, I wouldn't get the energy to go for that. But just, the part of my mind is making decisions at the spur of the moment. It's like, dude, bait. Even though, like, comments that say, no, you doofus. Just go for that Flash Cannon. Like, if you... Even if they shielded it, they wouldn't have been able to do anything else. And here I am, having my Umbreon being forced up against an Azumarill when they still have a shield is as good as a good game, but I'm gonna put in the solid hard fight nevertheless. Yeah, all they have to do is shield one last resort, and all hope is gone. I mean, that implies that hope wasn't already gone, but I mean, like, the point is, it's like, I'm not even gonna get it close to knockout, because I'm not even gonna get close to knocking out, because it can just shield whenever it feels like it. Like, right there, just the assurest dominance of having more health than me. Yeah. But in the moment, you don't know, and after, it's easy to say they should have done the shield. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is the whole thing about hindsight being 2020. So, those last two sets sucked. But I kind of had a feeling going in that it wouldn't be that great. I just went from using a team that I was really comfortable with to trying to make up a new one on the spot, when usually I take the time to take my own time off stream or off recording to actually put a team together, have a few test runs before actually putting it on the recording scene. That's not so bad. Like, at least if nothing else, you can kind of get a gauge for how I do my team comp process. And you can kind of see why I get a little comfortable with one team, because it does sacrifice my rating a bit just to come up with a new team to work around with. But I did hit rank 8. The past two seasons, I haven't really gotten higher than rank 8. I think I just barely got rank 9 in the preseason. Do I have one more set? Game's telling me I have one more set. I'm pretty sure I did one set off screen, 2 with the old team, 2 with the new team. I shouldn't have any more. Yeah. So we've been going for a while as is. Like, stream timer says an hour and 33 minutes, and that's not even the full stream, because the stream actually went down and I had to get it back up. So I'm gonna end it off here.